By the power of Grayskull, I have the power! Alright, so hear me out. Let's take your fantasy outer space epic tale and make it more grounded. You know, like on Earth. Let's talk about Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe stars Dolph Lundgren, Frank Langella, Courtney Cox, and Billy Barty. Lundgren plays He-Man, the protector and champion of Castle Grayskull, the epicenter of mystical power in the universe. One day, the warlord Skeletor, played by Frank Langella, seizes control of the castle and the sorceress of Grayskull using an invention made by the master locksmith Gwildor, played by Barty. Cosmic Key, which can open a portal anywhere by using musical notes.
It's working! It's working!
Allowed Skeletor and his army to slip by the defenses of Grayskull and take it with ease. As He-Man attempts to rescue the sorceress and liberate Grayskull, he is overwhelmed by Skeletor's forces and is forced to flee with his allies, Man-at-Arms, played by John Cypher, Teela, played by Chelsea Field, and Gwildor. The quartet is whisked away to California, where the Cosmic Key is lost and found by two teenagers, orphaned high school graduate Julie, played by Courtney Cox, and Kevin, her aspiring musician boyfriend, played by Robert Duncan McNeil. With Skeletor's forces not far behind, it is up to He-Man and company to get the key, return to Castle Grayskull, defeat Skeletor, and once again, become the Masters of the Universe. Over the years, popular intellectual properties have been made into films while wildly missing the point of the source material. The live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie, Street Fighter, and Dragon Ball Evolution are such films that come to mind. Masters of the Universe really is no different. The original cartoon follows Prince Adam on Eternia as he navigates the life of a person with a split identity. One being Prince Adam, the son of the king and the queen of Eternia, and two being the muscle-bound powerhouse of Eternia and Castle Grayskull's ultimate protector, He-Man. A lot of time is spent on Adam balancing his life with his newfound duties, all the while keeping it a secret to protect his loved ones from being targeted by the forces of evil. In this, Dolph Lundgren is just He-Man, and he's hanging out on Earth for most of the film. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate that there is no deep dive into every minuscule plot point that has arisen throughout this property's history, and we just jump into the current throwdown that this film is based around. That saves a lot of time.
For countless ages, the sorceress of Grayskull has kept this universe in harmony, but the armies of darkness do not rest.
However, taking away such a major and defining aspect, that being Adam, behind the mythos of the series, is a huge detriment to the film. Seriously, the name Adam is never mentioned once. We never get to see that struggle of his or what happens without the power of He-Man. As a matter of fact, there is little to no indication that the Power Sword, as it is called, wielded by He-Man, which is the conduit for his power, is important in any way throughout most of the film. The only time it is mentioned is at the end of the movie, when Skeletor says, "Ha ha, I got your sword." He-Man seems to be just a really big buff dude who's good at fighting. Anybody familiar with the lore is aware of the mythos behind He-Man and his powers, but anyone else watching this movie would have no idea. We also spend most of the movie on Earth, and while from a budgeting standpoint is pretty smart, most are here to experience the world that these characters are from, but we only spend like 10 minutes on Eternia. We see a matte painting of Grayskull, the inside of the castle, some rock formations outdoors, and that's it. This makes Eternia, the awesome, mystical, faraway planet, feel secondary to Earth and not as important. Once again, they're missing the point. People coming into this want to experience this world. They want to hang with He-Man on his adventures on Eternia, with the multitude of characters we know and love. Which brings me to my next point. How do you make He-Man feel like a supporting character in his own movie? We follow Julie and her emotional journey of love, loss, and finding her courage throughout the film.
Best thing for me to do right now is to get 3,000 miles away from Kevin, my house, this town, and everything, and just start out fresh.
She's Dorothy, meeting up with the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion. Oh, well, yeah, we'll say he's Toto. It's not a perfect metaphor, but they both do defeat a wizard. When you take away the things that made a franchise popular, you lose what made it unique, and then you lose even your most die-hard fans. Now, they did have a couple of secondary characters from the show, like Beastman, Man-at-Arms, and Teela, but a lot of the more unique villains and heroes were left out. No Ram Man, no Manny Faces, no Battle Cat. While I do understand that a lot of these would have helped flesh out the world and make it feel more lived in and in closer proximity to the cartoon, I also understand the limitations of the 1980s and their tech. I'll give them credit where credit is due. Many of these could not be brought to life. So while there is no way to make Orko work, here's Gwildor. Triclops ain't gonna happen, here's Blade. These are some clever workarounds, and I appreciate that. Most of the cast does a decent enough job in the movie as well. Lundgren was hired coming off the success of Rocky IV, and because, well, he looked the part of a beefcake demigod.
Ah! Get away from me!
It's all right. It's all right. Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you.
But his line delivery leaves something to be desired.
Tila, I have no choice. This is our fight. I don't want innocent people to die.
Well said, He-Man.
Most of the action he performs is him tossing stormtroopers. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Skeletor's army. Yeah, you got a little Star Wars in my He-Man there. A lot of editing cuts of his swordplay, and a couple of rest holds that reminded me of a 1980s WWE match. This was early in his career though, and he has clearly evolved into an actor with some pretty decent films under his belt. Courtney Cox is entertaining, but she just plays a damsel in distress.
You, over there! No!
So there really isn't much wiggle room there. While I miss Orko, Gwildor is a great replacement and acts as the comic relief in his place while also being important to the story.
Moo. Moo.
Gwildor.
I'm going! Move.
Evil Lynn, played by Meg Foster, is awesome. She plays a great second-in-command who seems to be a loyal, devoted servant to Skeletor. Dare I say, she seems to be in love with him. That says a lot when there's only so much context provided. Also, those are not contacts. Those are her real lives.
Thank you, my darling.
The real standout here, who seems like they're having the most fun with it, is Frank Langella as Skeletor. The guy took a kid's cartoon character and reshaped it into a menacing Shakespearean villain dripping with charisma.
He-Man. If I kill him, I make him a martyr, a saint. No, I want him broken.
This portrayal is great, and one of the reasons why a lot of people remember this movie. While he does not do much other than bark orders at his minions, lord over his defeated foes, and monologues about his destiny, these actions are done in such a menacing way that you truly do fear for the fate of Eternia.
And as you die, so will I be reborn.
Oh, and just this makes me laugh every time. Is he way too into that? This movie is definitely a product of the time, overflowing with a 1980s style that is entertaining in its own right. However, the film misses several of the major factors that kept people, especially kids at the time, coming back to the franchise for more. It feels like a B- space epic with a He-Man coating. If you took away the He-Man, would it be really memorable? Probably not. Personally, I grew up with this movie and I love it, even with all its flaws, and for me, it's a comfort watch / own. It's almost like a badge of honor. It's something I come back to for all the nostalgic feelings that I have for it. If I'm looking at this objectively though, most people would categorize this as not for me. It would be hard to forget, but without the past attachment or love of the series, there really isn't much here for them. Oh, and good journey is an awesome way to say goodbye.
Good journey.
Good journey.
Good journey.
But I'm gonna be honest here. This is their version of May the Force Be With You. What do you think? Have you seen the 1980s Masters of the Universe? Let me know in the comments down below. As a matter of fact, what cartoon series would you like to see in a live action format? I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pody Productions. My name is Ryan. This has been Secondhand Cinema. Have a great, good journey.